All right, everybody. Hey, welcome to Note Night in America. Glad to have you here for the July 18th version of it. Welcome. It's always great to see you guys. I always look forward to Monday night with our Note tribe, Note family across the country. And excited for tonight's content. Our guest, we got a great guest speaker coming on. Before we bring him on, though, I just want to a little bit of housekeeping. If this is your first time to Note Night in America, I see a few new faces here in the registration list. Glad to have you. We had over 560 people registered for tonight's call, so you never know who's going to show up and who's going to catch the replay, but glad to have you here. If this is your first time, we've been doing some version of a Monday night webinar since 2011, so just absolutely excited here to have you all as we come into our 12th year of delivering content on Monday nights. But literally, everybody, thank you so much. Make sure you check out the Note Night in America podcast, which you can listen to on any of your favorite podcasting platforms going back. I think this is episode 160 of that podcast. You can also watch all the replays on YouTube. And we are live streaming to YouTube. I will monitor the comments on our YouTube channel, but you can always subscribe there at weclosenotes.tv and check out the Note Night in America replays there. All the videos from when we've been doing them, as long as we've been doing the videos, I go back so much more than 150 videos. But anyway, encourage you guys, if you like to learn stuff, check it out on all the different podcasting platforms. You can also check out our Note Closer Show podcast with over 1.1 million downloads, our Note Camp podcast as well, with 4 seasons, actually 5 seasons of that on Note Camp Live, which is hard to believe. Our next Note Camp conference is actually coming up in August. So you'll see some more information as we get closer to that date. But encourage you to check it out there. Make sure you hit the subscribe while you're listening and leave a 5-star comment. But anyway, guys, we do have a big event coming this Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is our next 3-day virtual note buying workshop. You can get RSVP by going to notebuyingfordummies.com. I won't take too much time away from our guest speaker for that, but just want to let you know we're in the final phases. The early bird special ends either tonight or tomorrow night for you guys that are looking to take it. The second time we've taught this year, really looking forward to the delivering some new information in the markets and what's going on. And like I said, a lot of change has been taking place. We pushed this back a couple weeks before because we knew there was a lot of changes, a lot of alerts, a lot of information has come out in the last few weeks from Q1 and Q2 that we're really going to discuss and then show you how to take advantage of what's going on in the markets. Good to see you there, Melanie, as well. But anyway, guys, tonight, the easy way to raise capital. We've got very, very lucky to have our buddy Dave Dubeau from north of the border, join us tonight. This guy is just an absolutely treat to be around. Just a big heart. If you've been lucky, we've had him on our podcast before. I believe we've had him on the Monday nights, but it's been about 2 years. I think it was pre-COVID when we had him on. But Dave and I talked probably a couple times a year, reached out. I'm excited to be speaking to his audience on Wednesday night. But this guy, man, he has just got a passion for helping people out. I'll tell you that right now. He's been an active investor since 2003. He's a creator of the Money Partner Formula, which I know all of you will love. And for all of you who are here, obviously, whether you're watching this live or catching the replay, you're going to want to stay till the very end because make sure you grab something, take some notes with, because this guy absolutely is not only he's an active and passive investor since 2003. When he first started off doing 18 deals in his first 18 months in 2003, he's like, oh my God, I got to change some things. But he works with mostly mom and pop investors across the country, helping those out there just like you guys, helping you all raise capital, helping to put some systems in place to make the whole process a lot easier. He is a best-selling author and speaker. He calls beautiful, his words, beautiful, and we all know British Columbia and Canada home. And he's my friend, Dave Dubeau. Dave, are you there, buddy? I think I saw you lurking there.
I am. I'm lurking around. Great to be here. Thanks so much, Scott.
Hey, you're welcome, buddy. Glad to have you. How's the weather up there? Hot?
You know what? Chilling? It is beautiful. Yeah, it's a balmy, I guess, in Fahrenheit, to translate it for you guys, probably around 85 right now. So it's pretty warm.
Just about 20 degrees cooler than it is here, and about 40 degrees cooler than across the pond in Europe and Spain and all that neck of the woods.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So how you doing? You're looking good. You're always looking good.
You too, buddy. We are a little bit more experienced. This last time we jumped on a live Zoom call together, but things are going well here. Can't complain, and I know that things are rocking and rolling for you too, buddy.
Yeah, they're going really, really well. So I'm excited to show your folks a little bit about the easy way of raising capital.
Yeah, glad to. So if you want to share your screen and pull up your slides, I think we want to leave the questions to the very end because I know that how you teach, they kind of build upon itself. So if somebody has a question, you're probably going to answer it the next slide, correct? for the
That's
most part.
probably correct. But if anything just kind of pops right out at you there, Scott, go ahead, slow me down, stop me. I'm happy to do that. So welcome, everybody. My name is Dave Dubeau, and I want to invite you to sit back, take some notes. Don't get too crazy, though. Just take some high-level notes. I'm going to show you how you can get all of the slides from this presentation at the end of the presentation. And we're going to be talking about how to raise private investor capital the easy way. And I want to give a big thanks to this handsome, good-looking guy, Scott Carson, for making this all happen. Thanks so much, buddy. I really appreciate it.
Hey, the check is in the mail for that, my friend.
I know, and I'll do the same for you. It's hard to be modest when you're so damn good-looking like we both are. All right. So what are you going to learn today? Here's what we are. We're over the next hour or so, and it depends on how chatty you guys are and how many questions you have. You're going to understand exactly how to attract your first or your next investors and raise 6 figures in a matter of weeks and 7 figures in a matter of months, even if you've never raised a dime of investor capital before. That's what we're going to cover. And then if you like this, I'm going to make you a special offer for my special program called the Capital Activator. And this is an on-demand training program plus a live virtual workshop. And when you see the price, I think you're going to like that a lot. But don't take the webinar lightly, because what I'm going to be teaching you here on this free training is powerful stuff. In fact, Luke came to this very same webinar a little over a year ago. He said, after watching a free webinar, I ended up raising $100,000. So I believe in rewarding people who are here live. So if you're here watching this live tonight, you got a couple of gifts that I'm going to give you. First one is a copy of the slide deck. I'm going to be going over 100 slides in the next 60 minutes or so. So there's a lot to take down. Just take high-level notes, because you know you can get all of the slides at the end. Plus a special report I put together for you, the top 7 ways to generate immediate credibility. Why is this important? Because if people are going to invest $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 with you, they need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. And this report really dials into that trust factor. All right, so that's what it's all about. Let me ask you a question. Why is it that some people are so successful when it comes to real estate investing, note investing, while the majority are not? And I'm sure you've heard of the Pareto principle. It applies to everything. It applies to real estate investors. It applies to note investors. And it definitely applies to this. So why are so many people struggling while the top few get the most of the rewards? Well, I believe in this saying by Stephen Covey: I'm not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. That's been true for me, for good and for bad, throughout my life. And that's the truth here, right? And you guys, I've been doing this, training people about this for a long time. I see people become very, very successful very quickly, in spite of what a lot of other people use as excuses and handicaps. Age. Dave, I'm too old to get into real estate investing or raising capital. No, I've seen people in their 70s get started, become very, very successful very quickly. I've seen people as young as 15 get started and become very, very successful very quickly. So that's not a good excuse. Male, female, otherwise, that doesn't matter. Heck, my own mother, when she was a single mom working full time, taking care of a snot-nosed kid back in the 70s and 80s, built up a portfolio of 50 doors way back before there were smart guys like Scott putting on podcasts and webinars and all that kind of stuff. So it can be done. It's so much easier now. Doesn't matter what color your skin is, where you're from originally. If you got an accent, none of that needs to get in the way. Current money situation, credit situation, contact situation, current level of experience, none of that needs to get in the way. Same thing with what's going on in the world, the whole COVID, the pandemic, all the thing that's going on with the Ukraine, the recession, whatever's going on, the inflation rates, none of that needs to get in the way. And it doesn't matter what strategy you're doing either. So I know a lot of people are here into notes, but this works for all kinds of real estate investing strategies: buy and hold of single family homes, BRRRRs, buy, fix and sells, lease options, commercial residential, development deals, tax liens, tax deeds, note investing, you name it, this works for us. What is the golden key to success? It's having the cash that you need when you need it to do more deals. That's what this is all about. And here is, if you're going to write something down, write this down. This is our overarching goal with this process. This is our mission, if you will. The mission of everything I'm going to be teaching you here tonight is to get you your investor ducks in a row. I want you to have a group of people ready to pounce eagerly on your next deal. That is the whole goal. That way you can go forth, you can make offers, you can do deals with confidence because you know that you've got the capital to back you up. And this all boils down to getting you meetings with prospective investors. And that's what it's all about. Now, if you're having a challenge with this, I think I might know what's holding you back. Same thing that held me back for the longest time. And it is the fear of picking up this 900-pound telephone, calling people up and schmoozing and begging and pleading for money, also known as cold calling or dialing for dollars. Nobody likes the idea of doing that. And that's what gets in so many people's ways, because we're told by the gurus, hey, if you want to raise money, just pick up the phone and start dialing for dollars, call people, right? Get out there, network and schmooze and turn every conversation into a real estate conversation. I'm going to show you a different way tonight. I'm going to show you a way that instead of you chasing after people, you're going to get prospective investors coming to you, texting you, emailing you, calling you, instant messaging you. You're going to see appointments bouncing up on your online calendar as if by magic. That's what this is all about. All right. Now, let's have a quick little reality check here before we get too carried away. And here is the reality. And I know this is dangerous to say with a bunch of Scott Carson's people, but here's the reality. Nobody really loves real estate. And notes, I'm including notes in real estate. They're huge. I mean, that's what
Amen.
Real estate's all about. Right?
Amen, baby.
But nobody really loves this. And Scott, correct me if I'm wrong. You might be the exception, my friend. I know you're a little different this way, but here's the reality. If you had the choice between doing everything that you're doing today or winning the biggest lottery in your state and kicking back with 100 million in the bank, chances are you would choose the lottery versus everything that you're doing today. But here's the reality. You're intelligent. You understand that you're not going to win the lottery. It's up to us to make it happen. So what we've done is we have chosen real estate as our vehicle to get from where we are to where we want to be financially. We've chosen this as the vehicle to take us where we want to go. Every vehicle needs a couple of things. It needs a driver. You are the driver of your vehicle, and it needs fuel. And the fuel for our real estate vehicle is capital. It's money. So we got a couple of choices when it comes to fuel. We can self-finance our own deals. That's like having a little jerry can of gas. You put it in the car and off you go. But sooner or later, this is what's going to happen. You're going to get stuck. You're going to stall. You're going to run out of gas, right? Now, when you learn what I'm going to teach you here tonight, you're going to have your own gas station. You can pull up there anytime you want, 24/7, fill up the vehicle, and off you go. Nothing's going to get in your way. All right. So here is my mercifully brief backstory, you guys. I won't spend too much time on this. So as Scott alluded to, I've been doing real estate investing for quite a while now. I actually didn't start raising capital until about 2010. And I got into a different strategy where I was buying and holding single family homes. And like most people, I self-financed my first couple of deals. I was great. And then I ran out of cash, ran out of credit, hit that wall. And of course, that's when the perfect deal landed in my lap. Okay. Now I was going to do a little lease option deal with this property. It was going to take about 2 years. I had all the numbers crunched out after I gave my investors a very generous return. I was going to make a nice little $40,000 profit on this deal. The only challenge was I needed to raise $85,000 and I only had about 10 days to do it in. So I'd heard the guru say, hey, just find a good deal and the money will magically find you. But I knew it had to be a little bit more than this whole secret thing where you just kind of went woo woo and money fell in your lap. So I knew I had to do some stuff. So I'd also heard from the gurus, hey, if you need to raise capital, pick up the phone and start calling people, dial for dollars. And around the time I was trying this, The Wolf of Wall Street was out on the movies. And Leonardo DiCaprio made it look like a lot of fun to call people up and, and dial for dollars. Well, I tried. I called, rejected. Pretty quick, I got sick and tired of getting rejected, so I quit calling. So then I was scratching my head, and I'd also heard, hey, if you want to raise capital quick, go out and network and schmooze, use your elevator pitch, turn every conversation into a real estate conversation. So I tried that. Local Chamber of Commerce, BNI, Toastmasters, wherever they let me in the door, there I went with my business cards, my elevator pitch, and I pitched up a storm and raised absolutely zero capital. Time was running out. I got desperate. I put together a list of a couple of hundred people that I knew, and I put together a PDF with an overview of the deal and how great it was. And I thought, hey, if just enough people see this deal, it's going to sell itself. And I sent that out to all 200 people all at the same time. And that was a Wednesday night. Thursday, I got up. I was so excited to see my inbox. And sure enough, I had a whole bunch of replies. Unfortunately, all those replies said, hey, Dave, dude, I haven't heard from you in forever. Here you are hitting me up for cash for a deal. Take a hike. That didn't work either. You guys, you know the end of the story. That deal went away. And I live in a fairly small city. So I had some major egg on my face. Obviously, I ticked off the seller big time. I tied up their property for a couple of weeks. I ticked off my tenant buyer who'd already given notice where they're going to be living. I ticked off the realtor, ticked off the mortgage broker. Everybody had major egg on my face. And I watched that $40,000 profit go up in smoke. And that's when I discovered, you guys, the big lie in real estate. And here it is. Just find a good deal and the money will find you. Baloney. That's what I say to that. Baloney. Here's what we want to do instead. Write this down, you guys. Chicken and the egg. Which comes first? The money or the deal? The money comes first. Get your investor ducks in a row and then go find the deals, because that way you can negotiate harder. You've got your confidence. You've got your mojo. You can really take massive action. Just like Harvey McKay says in his book, dig your well before you're thirsty. I think he stole that from Confucius, but don't quote me on that. That's the idea. Let's not wait till you got the deal and scramble for the money. Let's get the investors lined up first, then go find the deals. Okay? Because here's the situation. If you wait until you got a deal in hand, then you're desperately going after money. It doesn't matter how good the deal is. That desperation is going to ooze out of every pore in your body. You're going to have commission breath. You're going to just seem like a desperate salesperson. We don't want that. There's nothing wrong with sales. I admire salespeople. But what we want to do is we want to be positioned as a real estate expert and authority. We want to fill up that vehicle before we leave. If you're going to go on a cross-country trip, chances are you'd fill up your car with the gas before you took off, right? So that's the same idea here. So that's when I decided, hey, you know what? I've got to dial this in. I got to figure out this whole raising capital thing. So that's what I did. I had a background in marketing. I said, hey, why am I doing all this salesy stuff? Why don't I apply some intelligent marketing and get investors coming to me instead of me chasing after them? So that's what I did. I came up with this whole money partner formula process that we're going to be walking through here today. When I was doing single family homes, raised close to $1 million for single family homes, got up into multifamily properties, raised several millions of dollars for that. And since then, I've started working with other mom and pop investors who cumulatively we've helped to raise over $300 million in counting for their deals following this process. So the process works very nicely for newer investors who have 1 or 2 deals of experience under their belt, just like Brendan. He came to us. He had 1 deal under his belt. We applied this process. He very quickly got his first investor on board. She was so impressed. She brought on all of her friends. He got 3 investors from his very first presentation. Was that beginner's luck? I don't think so. I think it's because he was prepared and he had a good process. Works for experienced investors like Mark. Mark was going for smaller deals into bigger deals. He'd already had some experience raising some capital, but not big capital. We worked with him very quickly. He raised his first $400,000 plus. 6 months later, we rinsed and repeated the same process. He raised over $1 million. And that second deal is the one that got him out of the rat race. It works for professional investors, just like Paul and John. These guys had tons of experience raising capital for self-storage facilities, but they were doing it the old grind it out way, networking, schmoozing, all that kind of stuff. We applied the process. It very quickly raised $1.5 million for their next self-storage facility in Georgia. So you guys, let's get started with some foundational principles. Definitely want you to pay attention to this, but again, just get the big picture. Here are those principles. 3 big principles. Number 1, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Don't be that guy or that gal. What does that mean? That means that you don't want to be doing the desperate things that just turn people off. So just like that picture is where that guy's just so desperately, needily, creepily going after that lady, we don't want to come across that way to our prospective investors. And when you're picking up the phone, dialing for dollars, you're networking, you're schmoozing, you're doing all this stuff, you are coming across as desperate and creepy and needy. And it actually repels people instead of attracting them to you. So you don't want to do that, right? You don't want to come across as desperate or needy. Foundational principle number 2. We tell our kids that stranger danger. Well, I'm going to tell you the same thing when it comes to investors, especially when you're just getting started. I see so many people rushing out like bulls in china shops, just thinking anybody with a checkbook and a pulse could make a good investor. That's not the way it works, you guys. You got to think about it. Be logical. In order for somebody to invest with you, especially they're going to invest $50,000, $100,000 or more, they need to know you, they need to like you, they need to trust you. If you're going out to the general public, if you're going out to strangers, strangers don't know you, they don't like you, and they certainly do not trust you with their money. So you're starting from scratch. That's very difficult. The second big challenge is legalities. Time out here. I'm going to cover my butt. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a security specialist. I'm a marketer and a real estate investor. I'm just sharing my understanding of things with you. If you and I, as mom and pop real estate investors, try raising capital from the general public, we're actually breaking the law. You're not allowed to do that unless you're licensed to do it, or unless you've got a certain corporate structure set up. You've got offering memorandums, you've got exemptions with the Securities and Exchange Commission, those kind of things, which tend to be very, very expensive to get set up and beyond the scope of most mom and pops when they're first getting started. So where do we want to start? We want to start in the safe zone. And the safe zone is what we're going to be talking about next. So again, write that down. Stranger danger. Don't go out to the general public. So here's foundational principle number 3. You've got the golden touch already. You just have to figure out how to use it. What do I mean by that? I mean, you are literally sitting on a gold mine already. If you've ever sat on your cell phone, you're sitting on a gold mine. So we're going to focus, you guys, on leveraging your existing network. We're going to focus on leveraging your existing network. And I'm going to guarantee that every single one of you has somewhere between $1 and $2 million of capital available within your current network of contacts. We're going to show you exactly how to get that in the next few minutes. So again, here's a summary. Don't be needy. Don't be creepy. It's going to turn people off. So don't be that desperate person, cold calling, networking, schmoozing, all that kind of stuff. Don't go out to the general public. You want to focus on your sphere of influence, your current network, because there's a ton of easy, quick, and safe capital right there. All right. So you guys, we're going to go over what I call my money partner formula in this presentation here tonight. And then if you like what you learn here, then I'm going to invite you to join me with my Capital Activator program. I'll tell you about that at the very end. We're going to go through some case studies as we go along here. Here's a great example. This was Rick. When we first got together, he had one deal under his belt, negative $200 a month cash flow. He got educated about raising capital. He got educated about real estate investing. He really dialed it in with attracting investors and raising capital. Have a little listen. You might have to turn up your speakers, you guys, to the impact of having your investor ducks in a row has made for Rick. Have a listen to this.
There was absolutely zero way I could put the deal together on my own. Didn't have the finances or couldn't qualify for another mortgage, whatever it is. So I would have had to pass on deals that were great opportunities if I hadn't had investors on board.
Now, Rick really went to town. He was doing single family homes with suites in them. Last time I was talking to Rick, he had 19 of these deals on the go, each one with a different investor partner, netting him, after he paid his investors and everybody else out, $900 a month per property times 19. Not sure what that is, but pretty darn good. Since then, he's actually gotten into bigger deals. Last time I talked with Rick, he was closing in on a 24-unit apartment building outside of Austin, Texas. All right. So it's up to you. You can keep on self-financing your deals. It's like having that little Econogar. It might get you there eventually, but you're not going to get there very quick or very securely. Or you can get into bigger deals, go a lot faster by attracting investors and using their capital. So myself, I went from doing creative deals to small deals to bigger deals, kind of like Robert Kiyosaki talks about in the cash flow game. And recently, a few years ago, partnered with 5 investor partners, raised just over $800,000, bought a 54-unit apartment building deal, 5-year profits on that deal, cash flow, $355,000, mortgage pay down, $485,000, appreciation, which this is actually very conservative, just over $1 million. Total profits to be shared with our investor partners, $1.8 million. Why am I saying this? Because when you've got access to investors and their capital, you can either do a much higher velocity of the kind of deals that you're already doing, or you can do bigger deals, whichever you prefer, or both, right? Doesn't really matter. That first one worked so well, we found a bigger deal, raised $2.1 million for a brand new development deal. So guys, that's what it's all about. Attract investors and use other people's money. All right, let's jump in and show you guys the big picture of this process. So you're going to take a look there. You see, step number 1 is all about creating a target group of your ideal prospective investors. And then instead of charging in like a bull in a china shop, let's get started on a classy foothold first. We're going to show you how to do a warm-up campaign and reconnect with people. Step number 2, how to present your deal with poise and power. So we want to be able to show non-real estate people how our deals work in a very simple, convincing manner that gets them enrolled as investors. Step number 3 is all about the marketing. Constant, consistent, edutaining communication with a clear call to action. I'll explain exactly how that works in a few minutes. Step number 4, being seen as a credible authority. We need to show our expertise and our authority, create that credibility. All right. Step number 5, once you've got 1 or 2 investors on board, you guys, it's so much easier to get more of them and start the snowball effect with powerful testimonials and referrals. If you like this, You're going to love the Capital Activator program and the live one-day workshop, you guys. All right, let's take a look at some of the challenges you might be facing right now. So for some of the problems a lot of people have, not enough capital to do as many or bigger deals as you want to, not sure how to get the word out about what you're up to, who to talk to, who not to talk to, and if now is even a good time to be talking to people about real estate investing or note investing, right? There's so much going on with inflation, so much going on with interest rates, so much going on with the economy, with war, all this stuff. Who knows what's going to happen, right? Is now a good time to talk with people about investing with you? Spoiler alert, yes, it is. All right. You're not sure how to approach people without coming across as desperate or needy. What to say, what to do if somebody does raise their hand and say, hey, I'm interested. What is it that you're up to? What do you do there, right? You don't want to get caught like the deer with the headlight in the headlights there. You got a lot of stuff on the go. You don't have a lot of time to spend figuring this all out on your own. All right. Let's jump into step number one. Step number one is all about creating a target group of prospective investors. So as we mentioned before, a lot of people think anybody with a pulse and a checkbook could be a good investor. We already told you why that's a bad idea. Logic and legalities, right? So remember that, stranger danger. Now, there is one group of strangers that we are allowed to approach under the right circumstances. Those are accredited investors. So high net worth, high income individuals. The challenge here is, especially if you're just getting started with raising capital, why on earth are they going to pay any attention to you, right? If you don't already have an amazing track record, there's so much competition for these people's attention and their capital. It's very, very difficult to crack that nut. So where do we focus first? We focus on your current network, your current sphere of influence, friends, family members, coworkers, business associates, people that you know from church, people you know from civic organizations. You know them, they know you. Now, if I could see some of your beautiful faces, some of you would be giving me a look like this. But Dave, you don't know my friends and family. They're all broke. Time out. Chances are they're not. Find a book called The Millionaire Next Door. It's written a little while ago, but it's very, very applicable. They did a study of North America's wealthiest people. They found that the vast majority of millionaires don't look like Hollywood says millionaires should look. They're not driving around in Lambos with bikini-clad babes hanging off their arms. That's not how it works. They're everyday people living in everyday houses, driving everyday vehicles, who are exceptionally good with their money. So don't assume that just because somebody's all flash, they got the cash, because quite often they don't. And don't assume that somebody who looks very modest doesn't have money, because quite often they do. All right. So never make those assumptions. But Dave, I've always been taught neither a borrower nor a lender be. Don't do business with friends and family. That's a recipe for disaster. If you do it right, it's not. If you do it wrong, yes, you're correct. It could be a recipe for disaster. However, you can do this right. And when you do it properly, it's absolutely by far the best way to get started with raising capital. And you're doing your friends and your family a huge disservice by not educating them about what you're up to with real estate investing. Here's a big one that gets in so many people's way. Well, Dave, I screwed up in the past. I tried something a few years ago, didn't work, made a big splash, and then fell flat on my face, right? Quite often that's with a business venture, or you took a kick of the can with network marketing, MLM type stuff. You let everybody you know all about it. You got a few people signed up, nobody made any money, and it fizzled out. Well, hey, you know what? Good for you for trying something. That's awesome. Most people never even try. So don't use that as something to be ashamed of. Use it as a stepping stone. Everybody loves a comeback story. Those are our favorite stories. So don't hide from it. Just say, hey, you know what? I tried this in the past. It didn't work. I'm doing real estate investing. I'm investing in notes right now. It's so much better. And here's why. Does that make sense, you guys? So don't let any of that stuff get in your way. Because here is my belief. And let me know if you agree with me here. You can write this in the chat. Give me a hell yes if you agree with this. I firmly believe that a good real estate deal, a good note deal, is the best way for everyday folks like you and like myself and like our investors to get an above average return on our money backed by a solid, tangible asset, a real piece of property. I don't know any other investment out there that has as much control as we could have over this asset. I don't know any other asset out there that has as many different potential profit centers as this. I don't know anything that beats a good real estate or note deal. Does that make sense, you guys? If you agree with that, go ahead and type hell yes in there. So it's our patriotic duty to educate our friends and family about this and allow them to make their own educated decision as to whether or not they'd like to invest with us or not. Does that make sense? I didn't say convince them. I didn't say pressure them. I didn't say twist their arms or browbeat them into investing. Educate them and allow them to make their own educated decision. That's what it's all about. Because here's the reality. Take a look at it. The average North American's investment choices, doesn't matter if you're in the States or in Canada, it's the same up here. They suck, right? Savings account, you're losing big money compared to inflation. Mutual funds, same thing. Stocks, bonds, they're up, down, all over the place. Crypto, don't even go there. My goodness, it's crazy, right? This is what happened at the beginning of the pandemic. Everybody bought high, panicked, sold low, right? I remember I was sitting on a ski lift with a buddy of my cousin's, and he just told me he lost 60% of his net worth in 3 days because he panicked and he sold off. He'd been saving up for decades and he lost 60% of his net worth in 3 days, right? That's what most people do. They panic, they buy high, they sell low. All right, here's a great example, you guys. This is one of my most successful clients, if not my most successful client, John. He's raised over $30 million to date. And John got started just like everybody else, just trying to figure this all out. And I interviewed John a little while ago. I asked him, hey, John, who do you like to have as your ideal investor partners? And could you share with us one of your favorite investor success stories? So you guys, as you listen to this and turn up your volume a bit, listen to who John likes to have as his investors and think about what if you could do something similar for one of your investors. Have a little listen to this. I think you're going to like this one.
It was a big light bulb aha moment when I learned that I could partner with other people. So that idea was totally new to me before I had met you, Dave. And now it's something that I do very regularly. I actually prefer working with friends and family because I like working hard knowing that they're making a good return, and I like being able to help out my sphere a little more directly like that. So I really like growing my friends' money and helping them do something that they can't on their own. I get very happy investors, Dave. I've got one client in particular where I'll be sending them enough money every month that they can actually be retired off the passive income that they get. And so that just makes me feel really good, because that's one of the things that I got into this to do, was so that I could do that for myself. Now I have the power to be able to do that for other people.
I love that example, you guys. I mean, think about it. We're all in this real estate game to get ahead for ourselves and our family. Now, when we start bringing investor partners on board, we're taking them along as well. We're helping them to get ahead financially. We're sharing the results of our labors. They're bringing in the capital, we're bringing in the know-how, we're bringing in the deals, and we're sharing the rewards. What a beautiful thing to make happen. So this is what you're going to do. When you get happy investors like Rena, this is one of the investors in that 54-unit apartment building deal, you get very, very happy investors because you're creating win-win scenarios. All right. So hopefully by now you're starting to at least open your mind to the idea of focusing in on your sphere of influence. I'm going to encourage you to create a list of approximately 200 people that you have a pre-existing relationship with, right? We call this your dream 200 list of prospective investors. Where are you going to find them? It's not as tough as you might think. So when we're working with our clients, we will export all of their contacts from their cell phone, their email addresses, their social media accounts. We'll get it all into one place, merge, purge, deduplicate. Then we'll probably have a list of about 1,500 or 2,000 people, and then we'll quickly whittle it down to 200 people. Does that make sense, you guys? So instead of trying to think up 200 people, start with a much larger list and whittle it down to 200 people that you have a pre-existing relationship with. Now, very important, don't rush in and say, hey, I got the deals, have you got the dough? No, what we want to do, because I did that back in the day, it did not work. I just turned off a lot of really good prospective investors, all right? What we want to do instead is we want to warm them up. What we do here is what we call a warm-up campaign. I'll explain a little bit more about that in a few slides from now. We want to break the ice before we start talking real estate. Now, if you do this properly, it's going to accomplish a couple of things. Number one, it's going to reconnect with a lot of people that you haven't heard from in a long time, and that's going to be a wonderful experience for you. Number two, it's going to warm them up. And number three, it's going to set the stage for all of the marketing that's going to be coming down the pipeline afterwards, right? So this is how we're going to prime the pump. Now, this is not designed to get you investor meetings right off the get-go. However, quite often that's exactly what happens. So I'm going to share a little case study from a client of mine, Heather. We just started working with her very, very recently. Have a listen to what happened with Heather with her warm-up campaign.
It's been a fun ride so far.
Yeah, I saw that from your email, so that's good. So you made some good reconnections?
Yes, I have. And that's been really fun. And even like people I know have sent me emails and I've learned all kinds of things about them.
Nice.
So it was really nice. People really took it as an invitation to share. Well, I got 3, which I thought was pretty good.
That is very good.
So I have to follow up on those, obviously. They were from one friend of mine who knows that I invest, and she said to me, like, oh, way to go, this is great. Yeah, I'm interested. So I'm interested. So let's do, let's do
awesome.
something. Yeah. So that was very positive. And
Yes.
another woman who does some real estate investing, and she said, oh, way to go, look at you go, way to go, and then she said, I'm doing some stuff, but I'd be really interested to hear what you're doing, and if the numbers make sense, I'm always interested, kind of thing. So that was good. Mm-hmm. And the other one was a woman I haven't talked to for a long time, and she said, well, I went and checked out your website, and I'm really intrigued by what you're doing. So let's get together.
Beautiful. So she got 3 investor leads from the warm-up campaign, which wasn't even designed for that. But when you do it right, that's exactly what's going to happen. So that's why it's important that that you've got a good investor presentation to walk people through when they do put up your hands. Because here's what you have to remember, you guys. You and I and Scott, and I say this with love and affection, we are weird. We are real estate weirdos. I mean, why else would you be spending your Monday night on a webinar, right? You're curious. You want to learn more about this. Most people are watching Netflix or vegging out. So we got to remember, most of our prospective investors are not real estate weirdos like us. So we need to be able to explain it to them in a simple, easy to understand, easy to grasp fashion. So I'm going to suggest that you use a well-designed, well-organized slide deck presentation. This way, you can use it online, you can use it in person, you can use it one-on-one, you can use it in small group settings as well. And one of the big tips that I give when you're putting together an investor presentation is don't try to hide the negative sides of your particular strategy. In fact, what I like to do is I like to bring them right up front, say, hey, here's the great stuff about this, here's the not so great stuff about this, and here's what we do to minimize and mitigate those risks. Does that make sense, you guys? Because if you just show all sunshine and flowers, you don't show people what the negative can be, they're going to say BS in the back of their mind. So you always want to show the pros and the cons. All right. Now, here's a great example. This is Brendan, who is a pretty new investor. And like I showed you at the beginning, he got a very, very effective investor presentation. Right from his very first presentation, he got the lady on board, a friend of his mom's, along with 2 or 3 of her friends as well. He got 3 or 4 investors from his very first presentation. Here's another great one. This is Joe Cruz. Have a little listen to how well this worked with him getting investor meetings booked.
I actually got to meet with a couple of people as well. Yeah, like they just touched base. They're like, oh, saw your videos, and they're looking to invest. Actually, those people, 250 plus for each one.
For each couple, you might have just raised $400,000 to $500,000.
Yeah, which is funny. The other way I was doing it before wasn't happening like that. That's for sure. Just from those 2 people. So, and I booked 20 meetings. Yeah, like really, Gord was like, get 5. And I realized, like, okay, if I'm going to get 5, I might as well shoot out 20. Funny, they all agreed to it. So, which is exciting.
Yeah. So 20 meetings. He got 2 investors right off the get-go and 20 more meetings booked. Do you think he's going to raise a bunch more capital? I know he is. All right. Step number 3 of the 5-step process. Once we've got our target group of prospective investors, we've warmed them up, we've got our investor presentation ready to go. Now it's time to press go with the marketing. We call this constant, consistent communication. In fact, I call this constant, consistent, edutaining communication. All sorts of different ways to do this, you guys. 3 of the ways that are working exceptionally well for our clients these days are video logs, electronic newsletters, and blog posts. All of these are electronic media, work very, very well. So constant, consistent, edutaining communication with a clear call to action at the end. What do I mean by edutaining? A little bit educational, remembering that our target group of prospective investors are not super keen in real estate like we are. They're not spending the time to learn all this stuff. So they don't want to know it all. They want to know that we know our stuff. So we want to keep it a little bit educational, hopefully a little bit entertaining to keep their curiosity piqued, and then a clear call to action. What do I mean by that? Tell them exactly what you want them to do. So the goal of your marketing is not to sell the deal, The goal of the marketing is to sell them on the idea of booking a meeting with you. So create that curiosity and then say, hey, if you'd like to find out more, click on the link below, book a time. Let's have a conversation and see how this can work for you. And you guys, right now is the time to double down on all this marketing stuff. Definitely sure is. So again, the whole idea is attract people instead of chasing them, get them to reach out to you. And if you do this properly, they're going to come to you already pre-educated, pre-motivated, pre-qualified, and predisposed to invest in your deals. And here's a really important, write her down, you guys, because it's not in the notes. You got to keep it going. Don't just get it going. I see so many people get off to a good start. They maybe do their first 2 or 3 months. They get things rolling. Then they get busy. They get a whole bunch of investor meetings booked. Maybe they get a deal or two under their belt. They get going. But then they take their foot off the gas with the marketing and it all fizzles out. Then they have to start all over again from scratch. Don't do that. Get it started. Keep it going. Here's a great example of how effective that can be. Have a listen to Karina and how effective her marketing has been for her.
Ready to invest. And they keep seeing these emails. Even today, the e-scene that went out today, I had a friend who's like, yeah, I'm ready to invest just from that one email. And this happens like all the time now. People know what I'm doing. I'm constantly communicating with people. And then when they see these e-scenes, because they see it ongoing, they say, okay, yep, I'm ready to go. And we get contacted just from those e-scenes alone.
How much would you say that you have raised up to this point?
It's definitely been over $1 million by now, for sure. All of our projects were funded. Then I went off and got new projects, and then my investor list is just there, and I send it off. Any new opportunities, investing opportunities, I send it off to my investors list, and just from that list, we get, yes, I'm in for this much, or yes, we're in for that.
You're telling me the process works.
It works. It works.
It certainly does. So Karina is now in the position where she's got her investor ducks in a row. She's got a whole bunch of people that are lined up saying, hey, I want first dibs on your next deal. She's at the point now where she can pick and choose who she brings on as her investor partners. That's the exact position I'd love for you to be in as well. All right. Step number 4, the 5-step process, demonstrating your expertise and your authority. Lots of different ways to do this, you guys. Take that leadership role, join your local real estate investment club, take action, participate in that. Dress sharp, especially when you're talking with people about investing in your deals. Speak knowledgeably about what you're up to with real estate, about investing in notes. Have good looking materials and a professional website with videos on it, you guys. A website with videos on it gets 400% more interaction than the same site without videos. All right. It's the next best thing to being there face to face. And a really good investor website, you guys, can get your investors coming to you already pre-educated, pre-motivated, and pre-qualified to invest. So have a little listen to how effective a good website's been for Lee and Lefrey.
We have a great news.
What's that?
We have another new joint venture partner.
My goodness, you guys are just going great guns. Congratulations. Tell me about this. Tell me the story. What happened?
So he went into the website and he was like, oh, your website's so nice. And he actually read through most of it and looked at the videos. And we had a phone call yesterday. He called me and then he was like vetting himself to be a joint venture partner. I didn't even have to tell him a lot.
We don't have to convince.
That's
even,
wonderful.
We don't have to convince him.
He was like telling me all the information. I didn't even ask him yet. Yeah.
So the website really kind of worked nicely to pre-educate, pre-motivate, pre-qualify, and get the guy predisposed to invest with you.
Yeah. He was even telling me his plans, like, I'm gonna get the pre-approval this month. I'll let you know. I do have 150 to 200,000 as a down payment. I can be a joint venture partner.
Wow! Congratulations, you guys. That's
Thank
wonderful
you.
news. It works, you guys. Definitely works. Other suggestions: have sharp-looking materials. Get some professional headshots done by a professional photographer. All of this stuff goes a long way. All right. Wrapping things up with step number 5. Once you get 1 or 2 investors on board, it's so much easier to get more of them because your investors tend to know other people with money. So you can get referrals, you can get testimonials, and that's going to just start the whole snowball really rolling down the hill for you. All right, let's take a quick review, you guys. I'm going to open up for Q&A. So again, this is how this can work for you. Real estate and notes are the vehicle that you've chosen to get from where you are to where you want to be financially and create your ideal lifestyle. Money is the fuel that makes us all go. And having investors on board is like having your very own gas station. It's like having your very own sports car. It's going to get you there so much faster, and you're going to have a lot more fun. Another great example. This is Todd. When I first met Todd, he was stuck. He'd got off to a good start with real estate investing in his 20s, had 3 properties, got married, had kids, forgot about the portfolio for about a decade, came out to invest, got re-inspired, went out, got educated about tracking investors, took massive action, and added 18 units to his portfolio in the next 6 months. Last time I heard, he had over 80 units in his portfolio, had long since quit his job, was loving life as a full-time real estate investor. So again, it's up to you. You can continue to self-finance, do onesie-twosie deals every goodness knows how often, or you can do as many deals as fast as you want using other people's money. There's enough capital out there. Just like Robert Kiyosaki says, he or she who raises the most money wins. So you guys, this is a good start. But what do you say? How do you reconnect with your network? How do you do that warm-up campaign? How do you get put together a $1 million investor presentation? What kind of marketing and how do you set this up so it goes out automatically on autopilot? You've learned a little bit here today, but if you don't take action, it's worse than not knowing in the first place. So continuing with our whole concept of real estate being the vehicle, do you remember learning how to drive in the first place? Chances are, I hope your parents did not throw you the keys to the car and a manual and say, go figure it out, right? Or a VHS cassette. Hopefully somebody got in the vehicle with you and showed you how step by step. Well, that's what I want to do with you when it comes to raising capital. So think about this. If you could create your very own process for attracting investors who are eager to fund your real estate dreams, and you could do it without dialing for dollars or spamming people, and you could do it for a very small cost starting right now, would you be interested? Well, hopefully you said yes, because I want to tell you for a few minutes about my capital activator system. All right. We're going to get things rolling right away. This is the ultimate shortcut for you. And I'm going to suggest turn off Netflix, turn off Facebook, take a little bit of time right now to get the education you need for all the opportunities that are going to be coming down the pipeline, because there's a ton of opportunities coming down the pipeline, you guys. So here's what you're going to get. You're going to get the Capital Activator on-demand digital program. So this is the kind of program that other guys would charge you $2,000 for. I'm not going to charge you anywhere near that, right? So session number 1 is all about creating your ideal target market of prospective investors, who they are, where they are, what to do with them, how to gather them all together in one spot. So just like Leah and Lafferty, we just raised $550,000 for our 2 latest flip projects right now, 100% OPM, other people's money. Session number 2 is all about that warm-up campaign, that connection, how to reach out and warm these folks up in the right way and set the stage and prime the pump for everything that's coming down the pipeline. Just like Harry, 10x his portfolio. Want to share my progress for 2020? I roll in your course for raising capital this year. We acquired 3 buildings starting in 2020. I had 4 properties. By the end of the year, we have $40. So I 10x'd our portfolio. That's the kind of things you can do with other people's money. I'm going to show you how step by step and give you the tools. Session number 3, all about your $1 million investor presentation. What to do, how to create it, how to present it one-on-one and in group formats as well. This can make all the difference, you guys, because having a really good presentation, this is where the rubber hits the road. You can do everything else right, but when you meet with somebody face-to-face and show them your deal, if you don't do a good job with that, it's all for naught. Now, we're going to show you how to create an amazing investor presentation, just like Matthew.
And change some things. I sent it back to Gord. We went back and forth. It's all fine-tuned and ready to go. And I've used the presentation twice. You know, both the people were like, wow, they like, what a presentation. What did that, one guy says, what did that cost? He's like, that's amazing, you know? And so, no, it definitely pumps up your feathers and makes you feel good when you show someone like that, because the caliber of the presentation with the automation, the colors, the information, I mean, it's all there. And then basically I said, at this point, we're going to send you a letter of an intent. The one person has got that right now, which was 3 days ago. The other one we did 2 days ago. And today they, you know, transferred almost $400,000 in RSPs to Olympia Trust. Yeah. So and I'll tell you that, and you know, look, I wish I just deposited the check, but basically in the past month, what we've been just talking, and we're just at the tip of the iceberg, we got 372,000 coming in RSPs today. We picked up a $300,000 check I just posted online. We deposited on Monday.
It works, you guys. All right. We're going to show you how to practice. We're going to show you how to do one-on-one meetings. We're going to show you how to do online meetings as well. Session number 4 is all about the marketing, 3 C's, constant, consistent, edutaining communication. This is really important, you guys, because this is what's going to attract people to you and get them booking meetings with you instead of you chasing after them, because we're going to edutain them. We're going to have a clear call to action at the end of all of our marketing, just like William did. Here's how effective just some of the marketing has been for him.
So just tell me, how's it been going since the marketing has been happening for you?
Oh, it's been awesome. I'm still getting really good positive feedback from all the marketing, especially the newsletters. People keep asking me about the newsletters and stuff like that. So that's been a real plus.
You know, have you got any investors in the door pledging money and moving forward that way?
One investor that invested in my multifamily property, and I've got a list of potential investors for some future stuff that I just gained in the last couple of weeks.
So now he's got one investor on the go, and he's got a number of investors waiting in the wings, eager to pounce on his next deal. That's exactly what I want you to have as well. Session number 5, one of our favorite words in real estate, leverage. We're going to show you how to go from one-on-one to one-to-many presentations by doing webinars. Webinars are the number one way that I have raised capital since 2013. And Marco Nava, this is a great example. Mark was switching from small deals into apartment buildings, didn't know how to do it. We came up with a solution for him, which was doing a webinar. We did that very, very quickly, got him the capital he needed for his first deal. 6 months later, raised over $1 million from a webinar for his second deal. That's the deal that got him out of the rat race, allowed him to quit his job because the passive income he had from his real estate portfolio replaced his job income. Have a little listen to what Mark had to say about the whole process of working together.
Wow. I mean, the first time we got together was when I had this big deal that I didn't know how to raise capital for, and you helped me. You were really instrumental in helping me see that through.
How much money did you raise from the webinar that we did?
We were able to raise $440,000, which is what we needed to close on that deal. It's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
Would an extra $440,000 help you do a few more deals? I think so. All right. That's what it's all about. So I'm going to give you a step-by-step webinar tutorial. Again, I'm going to show you how. I'm going to give you all the tools that you need to make that happen. So this is the on-demand digital program, the equivalent of what other people would charge you thousands and thousands of dollars for. We're not going to just leave it at that. We're also going to include the tools that you need with a resource bundle, with worksheets, with PDFs, with handouts, everything that you need to really make this happen. And home study is great, but sometimes learning live is even better. And the combination is the ultimate. So you're going to get the home study, plus you're going to get a ticket for yourself and a ticket for a real estate friend to attend my next one-day, full-day virtual workshop, which you can attend from the safety and comfort of your home via Zoom. So that is another $997 value included with this. So again, this, you guys, is your roadmap to create a system to get you investor meetings booked and raise 6 figures in a matter of weeks, 7 figures in a matter of months with a proven process. So you're probably saying, well, sounds good, Dave, but how much is it going to cost you? Well, I could easily charge $997 for this kind of program. I'm not going to charge you that. I'm going to charge you way less than that, and I'll explain why in just a second. In fact, your investment in the program is just $197. So all you have to do is go to thecapitalworkshop.com. Let me see if I've got that in the chat box. Capitalworkshop.com. Send this to, let's see if I can send this to everybody. Oh, Scott, you might have to forward this for me. I don't know if I can send that to the whole crowd, but you can. So thecapitalworkshop.com is where you can get that. And in fact, because you're here tonight and you're a friend of Scott's, we're going to give you an even better webinar special offer. So your investment is just $97 when you use the discount code Carson. So thecapitalworkshop.com, use the discount code Carson, get the whole thing for just $97. All right, Scott, were you able to send that to everybody?
Yes, sir. It's in the chat room.
Oh, you are a rock star. Now, you guys, you take action tonight, you're going to get some action taker bonuses. But wait, there's more. I always love saying that. All right. So first big bonus you're going to get is another digital program called Insider Secrets for Raising Millions. This is where I got together with some very, very sharp capital raisers, and we all shared our best tips, tricks, and strategies for raising capital. That's another $999 value, yours for free. And then here's my goal for you. My goal for you is that you're going to have more capital than you know what to do with. So I'm going to show you how to find more deals now. So we're going to have the deal attraction marketing system. This is something I put together, another digital program, $999 value, yours for free when you invest in the program. Last but not least, a one-on-one coaching session, capital clarity call with myself that you can use anytime that you're taking the program. That's a $499 value. Again, another free bonus for you when you invest in the program tonight. So you get the on-demand program, virtual workshop, 2 tickets to the virtual workshop, resource bundle, more deals now, insider secrets, clarity session, total value over $5,900. Again, your investment, a whopping $97 when you go to thecapitalworkshop.com, but make sure you use the discount code Carson, all caps, to make that happen. All right. And you can take a look at all sorts of different happy campers that have attended this workshop in the past. And if you're a skeptic, which I don't blame you, because chances are this is not your first rodeo, it's not your first webinar, you're probably saying, Dave, how good can it be if you're only charging $97? What is your sneaky ulterior motive, Dubeau? Well, let me be perfectly upfront and just show you exactly what my not so sneaky motive is. I'm going to open the curtain, you guys. I'm going to show you and teach you everything. I'll give you all the tools that you need to do this on your own. And I'm also going to show you how we can help make your life so much easier, because my primary business is we have a boutique marketing agency where we help our clients implement everything that I've taught you. Does that make sense? So we're going to show you how to do everything. If you're a diehard do-it-yourself person, good for you. Go for it. If, on the other hand, you'd like our expert assistant, just like we've done for hundreds and hundreds of clients over the years, helping them cumulatively raise well over $300 million, then we're going to offer you the big red easy button, which is for us to do this for you. So you can be one of our happy clients. That's what's in it for us. All right. So if you're a diehard do-it-yourself person, you're going to love it. If you want some help, you're going to love it even more. All right. Thecapitalworkshop.com. And if you're worried about your $97, don't be. We got a 30-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Invest in the program tonight. Try it all out. If you're not happy for any reason, let me know within 30 days for a full refund. No hassles, no questions, no hard feelings. All right. So again, thecapitalworkshop.com. You guys, if you want the results that you've seen, example after example, case study after case study here tonight, go to thecapitalworkshop.com. Brian Dagenet raised enough to buy a 6-plex in downtown big city. Paul Reynolds, John Wiles, $1.5 million. Bruno, his very first presentation, $200,000 raised. Craig went from chasing capital to having capital chasing him. Karen Leona raised $80,000 her first presentation. Aaron Belmore, $673,000. Marco Nabo, we already talked about. Jamie and Leslie went from 3 units in their portfolio to 47 units in their portfolio the first year, 88 units in their portfolio the second year, and they haven't looked back. They both quit their jobs. They're full-time, loving life, living actually winter months in the Caribbean, where they, with investor capital, bought some Airbnb properties. They just bought a small resort. They're going to turn into short-term rentals, loving life. All right. You guys, if you're serious about growing your portfolio, if you're serious about scaling things, you need to use other people's money. Let me help you make that happen. All right. So again, thecapitalworkshop.com. And let me just take a look at that site. Excuse me. So when you go there, you can check all this out. You can watch that little video if you want to. Check out everything that's included with the program, and then click on the big blue button. That'll take you to our secure online registration form. You can check all that out. You'll see there, you got the total payment, $197. Make sure you click on the little button where it says have a coupon code. Click there. And then let's see if I'm not fibbing. Carson, spell it right. All caps, you guys. Carson, that good looking guy's last name. Apply. Voila. $100 taken off. Boom. Just like that, my friend. That gets you your discount. So again, thecapitalworkshop.com. Click on the big blue button. Put in Carson, and Bob's your uncle. Oh yeah, one more thing. I promised you guys some freebies. So if you want the freebies, then again, here's what I've done there. So scroll down to the very bottom of the page. You can see all the guarantees, all the comments, all the testimonials, and then click on the download slides button there, and that'll take you to a G Drive where you can download the slides. Oh, heck, I even included the infographic there and the special report for you. So you can download all that stuff right there. And my goodness, I was flapping my lips pretty fast there, my friend. That's it. I think that's supposed to be a 90-minute presentation. We got her done in an hour.
You did an hour, man. You had an hour and a half. You wanted to take it, but it's always good for folks to get everything done in an hour. And a few folks that messaged me, they had to bug out, but they're definitely interested in everything. Okay, so we had a question from a few folks there. The link you guys did have to put www.use if you're watching the chat roll. It's www.thecapitalworkshop.com. Use the link in the chat roll there for you. It should work fine. And like Dave said, use the code Carson, all caps, knock it down to 9. So that's such a generous offer, Dave. Thank you so much for doing that. And I have to say that had a few folks reach out to me. Laura Blunt, who saw you on tonight, she's a student of yours and been a long time coaching student. She loves what you do to help to raise several $100,000 in capital.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So there's so many opportunities. Donald Ellington says, awesome. One of our masterminds says, hey, good to see you, Donald and Vanessa out of the Maryland. Larry Hoffman just perfect says out of Cincinnati. That's awesome. Michelle Hill, that's good stuff there. Out of well, I don't know if Michelle's back in Hawaii or in Texas here as well. So you do such a great job, and you really do a great job kind of hand holding people through that process of helping out there. And the one day class, when somebody's asked me, when is the one day class going to be live on Zoom? Do you have a date for that?
Yeah, I believe we're going to be doing the next one in September, on September the 17th, if I'm not mistaken. But if you can't make that one, you can come to any of our live workshops, which we do at this point approximately quarterly. So
right, yeah, same thing here.
But
I guess that's so good though, because it gives folks the opportunity to put things together, really start getting everything put in place by September. But I agree 1,000% with you. People are capable of raising a couple $100,000 in the next few weeks and 7 figures in just the next few months if they do these things. It's all key,
Exactly.
as you said. It's all about content and being consistent and acting in a professional manner. So many people try to do the least amount of things, or don't want to do the extra work of getting out and putting a slide together or a video together. We love video, obviously. So,
well, it's not just because we're so darn good looking either, Scott, right? It's just so effective.
Exactly.
But here, like you're a prime example of consistency. 11 years doing your Monday night webinar. That is mind-boggling, my friend. My hat is tipped to you. You are a king of consistency. You've got amazing content. You're just a great example of how well this can work. So you guys, it's a matter of applying this in miniature for yourselves for raising capital. And that's why we provide the done for you services, because we find so many people are so overwhelmed, Scott, right? They've got full-time jobs. They're investing in real estate. They've got family. They've got kids. They're trying to juggle all this stuff at the same time. It's like, oh, geez, here's another thing that I have to figure out. Well, yeah, you can do it on your own, or you can get the experts to help you as well. That's what we're here for. But either way, you're going to get massive value from this Capital Activator program.
Well, and the great thing is I love your approach to just reaching out and touching base. So many people out there, especially with your students, people are looking for that personal connection again. Hey, how's it going? We survived. Yay, we got the t-shirt. We survived the craziness. What are you up to these days? And that's it's all about conversations. And that's what it comes down versus that whole desperate sales pitch. Please give me your money. No.
Oh,
hey, I have an opportunity. Here's what I'm doing. If you know somebody that might be interested, it's the whole presumptive no close. I'm sure you're not going to be interested, but maybe you know somebody else out there.
Exactly.
And that works really well. So good stuff, man.
No, this has been awesome, Scott. This is awesome. Any questions coming in from YouTube guys or anything like that?
Yeah, we got somebody, John asked a question here, and I love it because it's it's the same thing. And the answer is what you went through. He goes, Johnny goes, how do I promote that I have money to lend? Where do I post? How do I get the word out? It's a lot of the same thing. You know
just post in here. I'm sure you'll have a bunch of people reaching out to you there, John.
Yeah.
You're the belle of the ball. If you remember that slide with the creepy guy and the beautiful girl, no offense, John, you're the beautiful girl, right? You're the belle of the ball. So yeah, John, if you want to get the word out, here's a couple of recommendations. Obviously, you're in Scott's group. Fantastic group. I mean, just talk with Scott. I'm sure he can connect you with a bunch of people. Go to your local RIA, wherever you're based. Go to local RIAs, meetups, real estate groups. There's tons of people looking for capital there. So then it's a matter of vetting your prospective partners, right? So you want to make sure that you're working with people who actually know what the heck they're doing. So again, those would be two quick recommendations for you.
Well, that's the thing too, is making sure, because there's so many people out there advertising that they have funds, but they don't really have funds. I mean, John's not one of those guys, but there's a lot of folks. Oh, I've got funds anywhere from 5,000 to 5 million, and that's usually, we know that's not true. You know what I mean?
I get approached all the time by those.
Oh my gosh! And then when you read through it, they're just brokering somebody else's funds and making you jump through hoops. Well, this is where this approach is the friends and family approach to reach out your warm contacts, and it's such a great thing. All the things you listed gives so many people options on what they're comfortable doing and get the word out too, and what their strengths lie with their database or with their connections, which is awesome.
Exactly, my friend.
Cool. But people are excited. Michelle signed up, Larry signed up, a few other folks looked like they said they're signed up. They're taking advantage of that, so that's really great there. Guys, any other questions here from anybody on YouTube? I'm looking at one last thing before we let you go for the night here. Good, you got the codes working there. No other questions, Dave. You did such a great job presenting that 90-minute presentation in an hour and 6 minutes, basically.
Well, you make it easy, my friend. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much. And I really, really look forward to having you present about notes to my group, because I think it's such a phenomenal way to invest. I think everybody should be seriously considering investing in notes, especially these days.
Yeah, we got plenty of them coming down the pipeline. If the rates keep going up and defaults and people defaulting and losing it. Yeah, foreclosure numbers here in the States for the first half of the year basically match what they were pre-COVID, with the numbers looking like they're going to get worse. So plenty of opportunity out there, and got to be raising capital.
Opportunity. That's opportunity, man.
Exactly. People are worried about their money sitting on the sidelines, not making it. They want to put it in hard assets of some sort. No, it's real estate that can return an above average return. So get started. By September, everybody here, you guys, or sooner, can start raising your first $100,000 in private capital off the right way. So once again, Dave, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for being on here tonight, Dave, and always giving. And we'll talk to you later this week. All righty.
All right, brother. Take care. Talk to you soon. Thanks everybody. God bless.
Great stuff, Dave. Great stuff, man. I'll have the replay restream out tomorrow by noon, and then I'll send you a link for it as well too for you.
Awesome, buddy. Sounds good. We're going to start pumping out the promo for your webinar tomorrow.
All right, perfect. But mine will be about an hour 15 presentation as well.